All right. So back in the woods again today, building a fairy house. My phone is kind of positioned like just right, so I'm not going to move my phone right now, but I'll maybe show you guys at the end. Debating whether or not to build the roof out of birch bark or moss. There's plenty of moss around because I'm right by a stream. Not so much birch bark, although there is, yeah, there's a lot of pine and spruce, some cedar around too, but not so much. Maybe I should just use moss. Anyway, yeah, I love building stuff. I've always really loved building stuff. That was, I think, my first like creative passion was just building stuff out of like, I don't know about this, out of just, I don't know, random materials. In fact, when I was a kid, my dad built a he built a patio, and in like in our backyard sort of, and yeah, these sticks aren't big enough, so there were just all these, you know, bricks laying around, and so for months I would just build random stuff with these bricks, these leftover bricks, and from there on out it was like Lincoln logs and stuff. It was yeah, it was you know, building blocks and yeah, just stuff like that. I've just always really taken to stuff like that. So yeah, yeah, I'm just getting back into building fairy houses. It was funny. It was part of my school's curriculum when I was in like 3rd grade. They were just like, yeah, I guess we're just doing that. So yeah, I had a conversation the other day with a good friend of mine who I hadn't talked to in a little bit, and he asked me how I was doing, and I was like, kind of told him, I think I've hinted at this in another video. I've just been kind of dealing with a lot of stuff. There's a lot of changes in my life going on right now. It's I think for the better, knock on wood. You know, starting my own business and just assessing different relationships and things and where certain people fit in my life. And it's just a lot. There's a lot of changes happening. Entering a new phase of my life where I have a different level of responsibility. And just, yeah, it's just a lot. Didn't go into all that necessarily with my friend the other day, but he said something. It was something to the effect of like, yeah, you know, we're all kind of dealing with stuff, because I asked him, I was like, how you doing? And he's like, oh, you know, just kind of, I don't remember his exact wording, but he was kind of like, yeah, like I get that. And it kind of made me think about like the idea of healing and like infinite healing, and how really you're always going to be going through something. There's always going to be something going on. Either it's subconscious, or it's actively like transpiring in your life, or yeah, maybe you deal with mental illness, maybe you deal with trauma, maybe you, I don't know, whatever it may be. I think that this thing happens when we try to heal ourselves too quickly, and that is the fact that maybe we don't take into account the fact that we're always going through something, you know, and you're always going to be dealing with something, and that's at least what I find, you know, and maybe that's just me, but drinking a Synergy real kombucha trilogy. This is my favorite flavor, I think. And so I guess, again, I set out to say so many things in these videos, and I feel like when I actually start filming it, half of what I want to say goes out the window, so I just try to get to the gist, and also just like looking at myself on the camera. or on my phone, it just kind of, I don't know, it feels kind of weird. I guess what my point, but the general point that I'm trying to make right now is that, like, man, my hair is getting long. Is that, like, when it comes to healing, and when it comes to trying to become a better person, and when it comes to being introspective, and I need more birch bark. When it comes to those things, and when it comes to, I guess, working on yourself, you know, in some capacity, just bear in mind that you are, the things that are fucking you up are continually transpiring. You know, it's just the degree to which you indulge the feelings that they elicit, I think, is what matters. And again, I never want anything that I say, like, to create the perception that, like, I think I know better than people, because you know you better than anybody, and you know what you're going to do. I, like, firmly believe that you already know what you're going to do. And don't let anybody tell you that there is a, you know, there's an orthodox path to healing and becoming a better person. I mean, really a good guideline, I guess, is just, like, don't lash out at other people. Don't be abusive to other people. Just don't be violent, you know, well, unless somebody's, like, actively trying to hurt you. Spruce needles sound like rain. You know what I mean? Like, just go easy on yourself. Excuse me. Upon trying to become a better person, or a better version of yourself, or a version of yourself that you find more amenable to exist with, because you're all you've got at the end of the day. And your healing journey, or whatever you want to call it, is very subjective and is very individual. And don't let anybody get all woo-woo with you and say that, you know, you need to realign your chakras or something. I don't know. What, you know what I mean? Just go easy on yourself. That's my point. Is, yeah. Again, I find myself always, like, at the end of these things saying, like, oh, I don't know if any of that made any sense. And I don't know if any of that made any sense. But yeah, go easy on yourself. This is your first time. This is everybody's first time. I don't care what anybody says. This is everybody's first time being human. I mean, unless you believe in reincarnation, I don't know about that. I can't prove or disprove it. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if any of that made any sense. But anyway, be good.